right there ahead of us is where Jack Osborne and his crew stayed a weekend or a couple of nights, whatever it was. And I'll turn the camera on it. But anyway, we're in Skinwalker territory, and that's where they stayed. It's a bed and breakfast, and it's extremely haunted, and a lot of the people that have stayed there own the place, experienced hauntings, according to Jack Osborne's show, Portals to Hell. They believe the hauntings have something to do with the Skinwalker phenomenon in the area. Now, our interest in this is, you know, we check out Skinwalker Ranch, and there's lots of Bigfoot sightings around here, so we find ourselves Bigfooting here, and this is the mouth of Indian Canyon. And Jenny and I recorded on dash cam a big old energy fireball thingy that dropped out of the sky into the Indian Canyon.
A big green fireball with white sparks shooting out of the back of it.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge.
Yeah, it was like bigger than a giant SUV. I'll dig up that footage and include it in here, or I'll just give you guys a link to it. The dash camera does not do it justice, but Jenny and I have probably only been in Indian Canyon about a half a dozen times. But one of the times at night when we were heading out to the Grand Mesa in Colorado, we were coming through here, and that's when we captured that. And then ironically enough, the last time we went Bigfooting on the Grand Mesa, as we come through Spanish Fork, there was a wildfire, a bad one. And from what I understand, we just barely made it through that area, and they shut down the road because of it. And it was still shut when we come home. So we had to divert into Indian Canyon this last fall. And I think I saw a Bigfoot. There was, you know, everybody was getting diverted coming home from, you know, their fall activities, and there was 3 truckloads of people all pulling boats that were pulled over. And, you know, so I'm sure the people were collaborating, like, you know, how do we get home now? We just got diverted. And so I'm kind of checking out the people, and across the river and a small little gorge on the hillside in a clearing, there was a Bigfoot squared off staring at these people. And then I'm like, oh, are these people pulled over because they saw a Bigfoot, you know? And I told Jenny, oh my gosh, a Bigfoot, pull over. And I'm staring at the thing the whole time. And by the time she pulled over, a tree was between me and it, so I lost sight of it. But I grabbed my camera, turned it on, scrambling, got past the tree, and now it's gone. But I turned the camera on and kept filming the hillside in case, you know, it was there and the camera would catch it. And then, of course, if I saw it, I would zoom in on it. Well, it was about a quarter mile away when I saw it. And these people that we passed up that were pulled over on the side of the road, they were about a quarter of a mile away. So I was looking at the tallest guys in the group to try and kind of judge the size of the thing I just saw, and it towered over the biggest guy. And it was squared off with shoulders, everything. And so, you know, as the memory fades, I'm like, well, maybe it was a bear standing over there. But bears don't have these types of shoulders. If a bear has any type of a shoulder, it's usually a hump on its back. It doesn't have the humanoid shoulders of a gorilla, a man, or a Bigfoot. So
they don't have shoulders at all.
Yeah, so I think I saw a Bigfoot standing over there, and I did identify the clearing where it was at, and it was gone. And I don't know, maybe us pulling over and me slamming the car door, whatever. You know, Bigfoots never stay out in the open very long, or people would see them more often. But anyway, I was headed towards the group, hoping that's the reason they pulled over, because one of them saw it. And I mostly kept my eye on that hillside, but I kept glancing at the group, and none of them were even paying attention over there. They were collaborating and stuff. But nonetheless, I kept scanning the mountainside, headed towards them, because I was going to say, hey, did you guys see that over there, you know? And by the time I got halfway to them, they had all loaded up in the trucks and left. So, yeah, in my opinion, that Bigfoot was squared off checking the 3 trucks, 3 boats, and I don't know, there was probably 10, 12 people, maybe more.
There was kids and ladies and men.
Yeah, that Bigfoot looking shape, and it was dark brown or black. It was very dark. It was a good head or 2 taller than the tallest guy. I mean, it was huge.
I didn't see it. I was driving.
Yeah, and I probably never would have noticed it if I wasn't, like, you know, looking at that group of people, and then I spotted it behind them, checking them out. And of course, I'm screaming Bigfoot to Jenny, and she's like, what? You know, and even though we were just coming home from a Bigfoot expedition, that's the last thing on your mind. You know, we're like, oh, we got diverted, you know, what route are we going to take home? That was kind of on our minds and stuff at the time. So, like people say, it's when you least expect it. But it's not the clear open sighting that I want. I mean, it was clear and open, but I was a quarter mile away. You know, so I couldn't see face details, stuff like that. And then, you know, as, you know, my memory gets older, I'm like, you know, was it an illusion? But I never was able to find the illusion, and I filmed that mountainside, and I've gone through all my footage just scanning it, and I could never pick that out again. So whatever it was gone. And I watched it all the way up until that tree blocked my view, and I only had to walk about 20-30 feet to get around that tree to where it should be in my view again. So yeah, that may be my first Bigfoot sighting. So anyway, Indian Canyon's of big time interest to us right now, because I think I saw a Bigfoot here. That's what we're doing right now. We're scouting the area out, and Jenny and I are going to pinpoint the spot that I saw it. But, you know, maybe that big fire helped create that Bigfoot sighting. Obviously, if we would have got to go home the way I wanted to, I wouldn't have saw it. And then, you know, perhaps the fire, you know, drove the Bigfoot to where it was at. So I don't know. A lot of circumstances come together to form that, and very upsetting that I didn't get that on camera. We did have the dash camera going at the time, but this dash camera, even though it has a wide frame of view, I went back and looked at the dash cam footage, and where it was at was not in the frame of view of the dash camera. But our goal since we started this organization is to get clear open footage of Bigfoot with today's modern cameras. So we're looking for the next Patty video. You know, and there's a lot of people, blah, blah, blah. We want to prove it. We want to have it protected and all that. Well, in my opinion, it protects itself very well. I mean, people have a hard time getting a photo or a video of it. So it seems to protect itself very well. And then I'm not out to prove it. I care less to prove it. I just want to get footage of it for my own sake. The challenge of it all, the modern day mystery. Heck, you could get the best daylight footage of Bigfoot from 10 feet away, and people would still debate whether it was real or not. So I'm not going to get in the argument of proving it.
Yeah, people are going to call you a liar no matter what.
Yeah, I enjoy the chase, the modern day mystery, the travel. There's so many places that we go to that we would have never gone to in a million years if it wasn't for the subject of Bigfoot that we're interested in. Like last night, Jenny and I were talking about the Paul Freeman footage. You know, we've been right to where that was filmed, and crazy enough, close to where it was filmed, we found Bigfoot tracks probably, I don't know, a mile or two from the actual filming location.
Yeah, it was just down the road.
What's crazy too is we were on this hike, you know, scouring the area, looking for Bigfoot evidence, and we come across these giant bear tracks. And I don't mean like bigger than usual, just it was a big bear by the size of its tracks, and we knew they were fresh because there was this creek that it had stepped into, and then it stepped out on the other side, and that footprint was still wet. And Jenny and I decided, yep, it's time to go back to the vehicle. We're out here with the bear. That was a fresh track, and we took a different route back to the vehicle because we were just, you know, beelining it straight back. We weren't meandering around anymore. Just didn't feel comfortable being out there knowing that there was a bear that size right there with us. And we found Bigfoot tracks on the way back, and I'll put that video in the description so that you guys can check it out yourself. So yeah, in the video you get to see the difference between Bigfoot tracks and bear tracks. You know, people love to blame Bigfoot tracks on bear, but yeah, we know the difference, and we filmed and took pictures of the difference that day. It was just an amazing day. And then after we left that location, we went to the Deduct Springs and hiked around behind there, and that's where the Paul Freeman footage was shot. It was a dry year, and that spring is a reliable water source, and Paul Freeman had been seeing the tracks coming in and out of that spring area for a while when he got that footage. But yeah, we would have never saw that part of the Blue Mountains, never had motivation to go there if it wasn't for the subject of Bigfoot. So
yeah, if we wanted to go camping, we would have just went up to the canyon at our own place and went camping. We wouldn't have driven states and states away and up on top of a mountain and picked that spot to go camping. Never.
That was a rough place to get to.
Yeah, it really was. It was really... We came in from
the Walla Walla side,
and it was very steep and very... the tiny steep road.
Yeah, that followed a mountain ridge line, and
I really enjoyed the way out better than the way we took in.
We just I don't know, I come in from the Walla Walla side because that's where Paul Freeman lived, and that's where he came in from, you know, when he went up there camping and got that Bigfoot footage. So, you know, I just thought, you know, that was the best way in. So we know better now. When we go back, we'll have a better base camp in a better spot. And then we also scouted out his video area, so if we want to camp practically right on top of it, we got a couple of campsites scouted out. Yeah, usually when we go into an area the first time on a Bigfoot expedition, we consider that a scouting expedition because we're going in, you know, yeah, you can look at Google Maps all day long and read stuff about the area and ask people for advice, but you just don't know until you get there and see it firsthand. And then once you get in and get to know the area, then that's when you can really get into the nitty-gritty and start getting into every nook and cranny looking for the creature. But yeah, for that being a scouting expedition and us finding Bigfoot tracks, it was mind-blowing. Yeah, those were some deep tracks too. Yeah, that bear didn't sink in like that, and that bear was in softer soil than where we found those Bigfoot tracks. Yeah, we found Bigfoot tracks before out on hikes, and you know, we're like, yeah, whatever, blah blah blah, you know. But this was a big bear, and one of the tracks was still wet from it coming out of the water, and it's like, yeah, it's time to leave. Indian Canyon. And this Indian Canyon is famous for paranormal activity. Fireballs or energy balls that follow parallel cars and stuff like that. We've never had that type of an experience.
We had one fall from the sky
in
front of us.
Yeah, and it looked like it could be a natural event. It didn't change direction or course or anything. It just fell at an angle off to our left side till it went behind one of these mountains. I mean, we could very well be in the spot that it happened. These mountains to our left are close enough, it kind of reminds me. It was at nighttime, and I don't remember the exact spot in this canyon.
It's way up here.
I will have Jenny point it out, and Jenny says she recalls where I saw the Bigfoot shape across the way during the fire. Yep, Jack Osborne considers all of this Skinwalker country. You could fly straight across the mountains to the left. You got Skinwalker Ranch that's about 15 miles away. And Jenny and I have circled Skinwalker Ranch many, many times, checking the area out. And to her and I, it's like, gosh, it's crazy that this place is famous for the activity. But some of the stuff that makes Skinwalker Ranch famous, the same stuff happens in this canyon. I've watched a lot of television shows where they've interviewed people that have talked about the UFOs. I guess you would call them UFOs, energies of balls of energy or whatever that follow cars or fly above them, and
weird lights in the sky, all that kind of stuff.
People trying to outrun them have ran off the road in this canyon.
Or weird creatures running alongside their car.
Yeah, that too. I think the skinwalkers are running alongside of them. Jenny and I experienced that one time where a coyote ran right next to our car on Chalk Creek when we were out bigfooting one night.
We were still in the Uintas.
Yeah, we were still in the Uinta Basin area. Yeah.
We were just in the northern Uintas, not the southern Uintas where we are now. And we were driving down a dirt road, and it was the weirdest thing. This big coyote just come out and started running alongside our car and was looking in at us, and it just wouldn't go away.
It eventually actually ran up in front of my car, got in front of my car, and trotted along in front of my car, and I was probably doing 15, 20 miles an hour, and I probably could have punched it and maybe hit it or ran it over. I don't know. I didn't try to do that. I would never intentionally hurt an animal unless it was trying to hurt me. But yeah, that was a really weird experience, but nothing unusual. I mean, some people say that that's happened to them, and the face looks like a human face or of the coyote or whatever, but it just looked like a normal coyote to me. But that was weird how it running next to us, and look, it creeped me out.
Yeah,
it was very a creepy situation.
It was weird. I mean, most wild animals won't run up to your car and run alongside your car and look in your car and then run out in front of your car, and just, it was just the most weirdest thing.
Yeah, and that's before we had a dash cam. It's stuff like that we're like, we got to get a dash cam.
Yeah.
Jenny and I had, when we were in the North Fork salmon area, we were back on Panther Creek, and I think they, what's a group of raccoons called, but like 5 or 6 raccoons just come down off the hillside, spilled down onto the road, were running around in front of the car, beside the car. We were like surrounded by them for a little while. It was just the craziest thing. I mean, it's crazy just to see one raccoon. They're
but a whole pack?
Yeah,
it was like a pack of raccoons.
Yeah, and you know, I always think about it. I'm like, God, what if we were on foot? You know, they bit us, or you know, they seemed pretty brave and bold, but yeah, they surrounded the car, and we did get a little bit of footage of that. Jenny had a camera in her hand, and she got it on and filmed a little bit of it. Of course, it's at nighttime, and the camera is not
high quality
nighttime camera, but we did get some of that and some of our reaction.
Yeah, it was just my little purse camera.
Yeah. One of those $100 Walmart cameras or whatever.
Yeah. There's for being high desert out here, you wouldn't believe how many animals are out here. There's lots of bears, lots of black bears. There's lots of mountain lions. There's
Lots of
coyote, fox, elk,
mule deer,
moose, every weasel you can think of.
Yep.
There's lots and lots of animals out here.
Badgers, and just, it's very active for wildlife. Very popular hunting area.
The last time we were out here, we saw a coyote running through
Sour Creek?
At SowerCreek. It was running through the cattle. There was some cattle, wild range, those range feeders, and they were running out through the cows.
I'll put a link in this video down in the description to our expedition out to Sour Creek. It was a Sour Creek Bigfoot / Skinwalker expedition, since it's in Skinwalker country and very close to Skinwalker Ranch. I think there was just one little mountain that separates Sour Creek from the Skinwalker Valley, or Skinwalker Ranch Valley. That ranch is only 512 acres, and
you can drive around the whole thing on a road.
And it only takes about 20 minutes to circle the whole thing.
I don't think that there's anything special about that ranch. I think it's just the area. This whole area.
I think a lot of UFOs and stuff have been seen over that ranch. I've seen some YouTube or Facebook videos at the gate of the ranch with a bunch of orbs flying around, and I don't know if it's real or doctored footage, but if it's real, that was crazy. There was like 3 or 4 orbs the size of like a basketball just zipping around like they were all flying on their own. And also
we spend our whole summers out here because our property's here, and we have seen lots of weird balls of fire in the sky. And
yeah, from our property, I saw I was filming a supermoon coming up over the mountain, because I just thought it would be cool to film it, and it was a supermoon night, and it was going to be the full moon of it, and I'm filming it coming up over the mountain, and to the left, a couple of miles from where my camera was faced, a big old giant fireball comes up over the mountain, and I'm like, holy crap, and my camera's on and running, and all I had to do was take a step or two, grab the tripod, and flip the camera on it, and by the time I grabbed the tripod to flip the camera on it, that ball of fire had already dropped back down. And I have no explanation for it. One of the explanations I was thinking of is like a flare gun, but that this was huge compared to a flare. And I've never seen any fireworks look like this, so I don't know what created it or whatever, but yep, it just come up over the mountain ridge by maybe 100 feet or so, and then just dropped. It was odd. Yeah, I think that's kind of the weirdest thing I've seen in this area. Oh yeah, it bugged the crap out of me. I have a camera running. I mean, it was, and I just couldn't get the camera on it in time. Too bad the supermoon wasn't coming up in its general location.
We've caught weird things in our camera before that we didn't see, but our viewers have. There was a silver disc that goes flying in back of us out in the skyline when we were at the property, and we were filming everybody who was going to go on the
hike that day.
On the hike that day.
Yeah, we were introducing everybody.
Yeah, and somebody's like, you caught a silver disc flying in back of you guys, and so we watched the footage over. I'm not so sold on the silver disc thing. It might have been a bird that was
that zipped past so fast that it blurred into a disc.
Yeah, it might have been like a, I don't know, hummingbird. I don't know.
That's Epic Bigfoot Expedition on our YouTube channel, and I won't put a link to it. I gave you guys the title of it. Just type in Epic Bigfoot Expedition, and that should bring it up. It's a very popular video, but our introduction before the hike is right at the beginning of the video, so you guys can go look for yourselves and see if you can see it and judge for yourselves. Is it that a natural phenomenon that happened behind us, in the just right above us, or
yeah, I don't know if it was
or was that a disc flying by?
Yeah, I don't know if it was a metal disc or a shiny bird, but it's everybody's lined up on and we're filming, and it's right in back of everybody's heads.
Yep. I saw it back there putting the video together and never thought twice about it. I'm just like, yeah, whatever, you know. But a lot of viewers are like, I think you caught a UFO. You know what, though? Also, UFO is an unidentified flying object, so it can be anything unidentified. I mean, like we said, it could have been like a bird zipping past so fast that it blurred into a disc shape. And because we don't know what it is, it's unidentified. I always default to a natural explanation until you can eliminate the natural explanations, but I don't know. I don't think we'll ever come to a conclusion on that footage. Just can't tell what it is. Yeah, my sighting was up over the top on the other side, wasn't it?
Yeah. We're coming up the hill. We haven't crested the top yet, so we're still on this side.
See look how squatchy this area looks where I had that sighting that I can't explain. I can't explain what that was over there. I wished I was close enough to make out face and hands and all that, but all I made out was its shape, its shoulders, its arms. I could see the space between its two legs, and its shoulders and head and everything was squared off of those people that were pulled over with the boats. God, that was crazy. So disappointing it wasn't there when I got past the tree, and God, I had my best camera in hand. I got this camera that can zoom in 2.5 miles, and it was only a 1/4 mile away, so dang, just beautiful here.
Yeah.
Yep, that little deal that happened to me might open up this area to some Bigfoot expeditions for us.
Yeah, it's not even that far away from our property.
Yep.
It takes 30 minutes to get here.
Yep, we'll scout the area out and start picking away at all the areas and see what we can find. Ooh, my allergies. It was a long, wet, cold winter, and we're having a late spring. Everything's blooming late, and it's got my allergies going. Yeah, all the flowers have come in on our property.
Pretty. Wildflowers.
Yeah, all lush and green, and it was cold last night and this morning.
Yeah.
The GPS says it's only 40, so I didn't see the speed change. I haven't updated this GPS in like 2 years, so sometimes it's not always right.
It doesn't matter. We can't go around this guy anyway.
It says it's only 52 out there. Yeah, right after we got off the mountain, after I had that sighting, I got a hold of Brody and Derek right away while it was still fresh on my mind to, tell them what happened. Plus, I documented on camera while it was still fresh on my mind. I was documenting it as soon as I jumped out of the car, talking into the camera. And so Brody really wants us to start expeditioning out here because of that, and so do I.
So he's coming out
Very soon.
next month from Colorado to come Bigfoot in this area.
Whoa. That's freaking cool down there. Wow.
Yeah.
We've never really taken a good look at this area.
We usually come through here in the dark.
Yeah, it's usually nighttime. Yeah, when I had that sighting, it was about an hour before dark. And those people pulled over to take pictures down in there, I'll bet.
Yeah.
Whoa.
That's out towards Strawberry Reservoir.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Amazing. All right, I'm excited to start cracking open this area. Holy cow. And this area is close to a lot of Bigfoot sightings. Not to mention the Skinwalker stuff. Don't mean to upset anybody, but I often think, is Skinwalker sightings mistaken identity of Bigfoot? But then again, every culture has their werewolf legends, and I think a Skinwalker's kind of a version of a Native American werewolf. Although the difference is two warring groups of Indians, two different tribes. One of them placed a curse on the other tribe, and so I guess they're dead. What would you call it? They're witch doctors
Or spirits.
Yeah, well, their dead ones haunt the other tribes, and they're shapeshifters. I don't know. I've read lots of different explanations, but that seems to be the most common explanation. Okay, we're really close to where that happened, I'm sure. I've also heard if you're not a Native American, you don't need to worry about skinwalkers. Because the curse is on a certain tribe or whatever. But
You're selective.
Yeah, but I do not want to meet one. Thank you. Coming into these areas, it's good to know a little bit about the history of all that, though. Weren't they pulled over right here and we pulled over up there? I don't know. You were driving. You might remember the location better than I.
Yeah, that could have been it right there.
Yeah.
That pull out. I thought it was a better pullout than that, but...
Well, I know they had a pullout, and then we pulled up to the next pullout that was smaller. It's where you pulled over. And we had driven past them just a little ways when it registered to me what I was looking at. And I'm like, Jenny, Bigfoot, pull over, pull over. And so she pulled over at the first available spot that we could get off the road. But that really reminded me of the spot back there. I think I saw the spot that we pulled over and where they were parked, but we're going to check a little bit further before we turn around. Nice thing is we filmed the mountainside and the spot, so I can go back and compare.
Well, we're driving this whole canyon anyway, so
Right.
It really doesn't matter.
Right, we're exploring the whole thing. Right now we're looking for places to camp and hike that make sense, as close to my sighting as we can get. Cabins over there.
Yeah.
Cabins over to our left. The dirt road that goes in there. I wonder if there's public property in there to hike on. Yeah, the further down the mountain we go, I really think that first spot we identified was it.
Yeah.
It looked right. I hope you guys like our version of a podcast. I mean, we do podcasts once in a while, but this is our version of a podcast. We're going to take you guys out and we're going to show you the places we scout in Bigfoot and talk about our experiences and some of our tactics and all that. I would like to discuss one of our tactics. Sometimes people will watch our hiking videos and they'll get upset. You know, you guys can't even sneak up on a deer or this or that. We're not out there to belly crawl and be quiet and put on ghillie suits and all that. That's not our tactic. That's a hunting tactic, and
Well, We're not hunting anything.
Yeah, and that to me, that scares an animal knowing it's being hunted. An animal gets that sense when it's being hunted, and a Bigfoot's the same way. And so that's not our tactic. Our tactic's to go out there and act like a regular people hiking, just your regular people out having a good time and hiking. And so I feel like that's non-threatening, and hopefully that will develop some curiosity and bring them in close for a look, because we seem like a non-threat. So we're not out there trying to slither on our bellies through the woods and not make a peep. That's not us. So just so you know, that's our tactic. Yeah, that was the spot, Jenny.
Yeah, it was.
I'm ready to turn around soon. That was the spot. I knew it was close to the top. Okay, we're gonna take you guys back to the spot. I'm 99.9% sure that was it. And we'll show you the spot where my sighting happened. And then I'll put a link to the video of me jumping out of the car with the camera and filming the hillside and talking about it while it was fresh on my mind. Well, it just happened. I know there's a lot of people that's like, I hope you're documenting this stuff. And I was like, yep, we document everything on video and camera. That's our method of documentation. And then also we write blog posts. What county is that? Is that a county line right there? That's a top heavy load. Those hoppers. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now that we identified the spot that it happened, we're gonna take you guys to it, and I'll turn the camera to the mountainside where I saw the creature. And then Jenny and I are gonna start scouting around and find places to hike. Now, we don't mix hiking videos with driving videos very often. It makes too long of a video, so we'll have to show you the hiking videos that we do at another time. And I don't know if we're going to do much hiking today. This is really a scouting mission to find the places that we can hike.
Yeah, we're looking for places to hike for when Brody comes to town in a couple of weeks.
Not saying that me and Jenny won't be getting out and hiking around a bit.
I'm sure we'll be getting out. We have to find some good spots today.
Yep. Yeah, this added about 90 minutes to our drive home, a very long drive from the Grand Mesa in Colorado, so we weren't very happy about this diversion. But the diversion, because of the fire, created a sighting opportunity. It really looked like a Bigfoot to me standing over there. And I didn't even have Bigfoot on the brain at the time. I was, thinking, no,
yeah,
how are we going to get home? All that. And then I was checking out those people with the boat and saw that Bigfoot standing there staring at them. And Bigfoot shape. And it was large. It was much bigger than any of those men.
Yeah, after being gone almost a week, and you're on your way home and you're tired, and then the way home is blocked by a huge fire, and they send you up over a mountain to a whole different county. Yeah, I was frustrated at the time.
Yes.
And so...
Yeah, after a week-long expedition, I mean, you're tired. Jenny and I did a ton of hiking on that expedition, and
just wanted to go home.
The sun, and yeah. And of course, you want to get home and get some laundry done, get ready for work. Maybe watch one of your TV shows that recorded while you were gone. Yeah, we like to watch a lot of survival shows. Hope we don't ever have to use any of the stuff we learned by watching those shows, though.
No.
Yeah, I really like Alone. Naked and Afraid, especially the XL one.
It's entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Survivor Man.
Yep.
Dual Survivor. Man, Woman, Wild.
Yep. Currently, Alone's my favorite one right now. Naked and Afraid, I just think, you know, if you get in a survival situation, you're not going to be naked.
No.
So come on, let these people have some clothing.
Okay,
It's for ratings. Yeah, the boats and stuff were pulled over right here.
And we were pulled right over here.
No, we pulled up further. We were past this entire turnout.
This is where it was.
This is where I saw it looking at them from across the gorge. See that hillside over there? And it was just, I don't know, it was probably about 50 feet higher in elevation than we're sitting now up on the hillside over there.
So it was just right there.
Yep, it was up in a clearing, and I'm trying to identify the spot that I saw it standing. But Jenny and I, we go past, and we're on the road, and I'm looking at it like, what am I looking at? And it was right about here that I was telling Jenny, I'm like,
hurry and pull over.
Yeah, I'm like, pull over, and Jenny's doing the speed limit. She's doing 55, and it was right up here that you got pulled over.
Yeah, right up here.
Because it was this tree that finally blocked my view of it.
Yeah. So
one of these trees over here, and Jenny got pulled over here, slamming the brakes.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly where, right there.
Yeah. I'm gonna face off towards it so you guys can see. But yeah, the Bigfoot was up there in one of them clearings.
The boats
staring
were just
at the
there.
boats. I actually think we were closer to the Bigfoot right here than
down there. Yeah, that's just where the boats were.
I don't know, maybe it was the same distance when you triangulate it. But I know a lot of people, why didn't you get out there and hike? No. And it's like an hour before dark. We're heading home from a week-long expedition. We got to go to work the next day.
I don't think they know what's down there.
Yeah, and it's just a gorge.
It is a very, very steep cliff off the edge here.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Yeah, I'm gonna pull the camera off the window. Sorry about all the crazy noise it might make.
Yeah, show them down in the hole.
Yeah. See the gorge I'm talking about down there. But yeah, he was up in a clearing right up there. And I'm sorry I'm not pointing out the exact clearing. This happened like 9 months ago, whatever it was. 9 or 10 months ago. But yeah, I'll put a description, down in the description of the video, I'll put a link to it. I filmed this hillside as I'm heading back towards those guys in their boats that were pulled over over by those rocks that we went past over there. But yeah, I mean, those people weren't being super quiet. I mean, it was like 10, 12 people, 3 big trucks, 3 boats pulled over there, and it got the Bigfoot's curiosity, obviously, because it was squared off staring at them. All right, well, Jenny and I have our work cut out for us. We need to find out how to get as close to this area to hike. You know, Bigfoot doesn't stay in one spot, you know. That was 10 months ago. I doubt he's sitting over there still. But, you know, this is Bigfoot territory, Skinwalker territory. We're going to find places around here to camp and start expeditioning and hiking and everything. So I hope you guys enjoy a look at what I think may have been a Bigfoot sighting for me. My first one where, you know, I can admit that was a Bigfoot shape. It was there. I probably looked at it for 5-10 seconds or so, and then it was gone when I got back to where I could see the clearing that it was in. All right, keep on watching. We're going to keep on squatching.